Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a couple months without a video, let alone even a while longer since you've seen any update with the 63 Ford F100. Today that changes. We're going to start tearing down the Ford 300 that we got out of the 1978 Ford F100 that we ended up tearing down. What am I saying? Holy goodness. Here we've got the 1978 Ford 300. I don't know if it naturally came in that truck. I don't know squat about this motor. So please let me know in the comments below what the deal is. We got some great feedback in the last video. By last video, I mean the Will It Run series. We're actually gonna be tearing this down and using it on the 63. Without further ado, I think I've delayed a video long enough. Go ahead, grab yourself a snack and a drink. I got my non-sponsored Dr. Pepper over there. Let's get this thing torn down. Eric style, might I say. If you're seeing this video and you know the style that I'm talking about, we're gonna try for that. He's been doing this for years. I've done this less times than I have fingers on my hands. First thing that we're gonna do, let me bring you guys in here. We're gonna start by removing the smaller stuff and then soaking the spark plugs with some penetrating fluid, just because I've tried to take them apart before. Like, I've tried to take them out of the head. I don't know if I showed that footage in the 78 Will It Run. We're gonna get them out this time, because this time I'm determined. Penetrator fluid on standby. We're just gonna start zipping things apart. But we did have this thing running pretty rough, which one comment was make sure you clean the points in the distributor. There was a lot of comments on that video. It was also my most viewed one for a while of the new stuff that I've been putting out. I need a screwdriver. I didn't grab any tools to prepare this, so yay me. Just pick one. Goodness. So many screwdrivers. It's like, oh, which one do I want to use? There is the cap and the 4 wires. Yes, we are missing wires. Oh, this cap actually looks pretty new on the inside. Into the box. For the distributor, we're gonna pull off the vacuum line. And at the same time, I know you can't see it, but we're gonna pull it off the carburetor. Goodness. Well, technically, I think that's past the carburetor. Nope, that's part of the carburetor. I was right. Nice. And get the vacuum line. So we have a box for all like the miscellaneous small parts and hoses and stuff like that, just in case we end up having to reuse something. So then next, I don't know how to take this apart, just an FYI, I'm just spitballing here. So by my guess, is I gotta get probably a 1/2 inch wrench, loosen that, and then I can take out the tab. Little wire, don't know what it goes to. So 1/2 inch. My eyes do not deceive me, but really should take off the fuel pump first. So once again, let's grab our flathead screwdriver. We're gonna take off this hose. We're actually gonna throw this one away. Oh, you know how I said I was gonna soak the spark plugs in some penetrating fluid? Should probably do that. Because I know they're stuck in there. I've tried to take them out. And I don't want to break it off. That is one of the big things about tearing apart an engine that you want to keep, is you don't want to break things off. Where was I? Pliers. And if you're dealing with an old hose and it's really stuck on there, and you've tried pulling, twist it. Where'd that hose clamp go? I wanted to save that. Hello? Oh, there it is. Into the box. So now we try again. Is that what was in our way? Probably not. Okay, yeah. It's coming out. All right, so now let's get the fuel pump out. So this has been changed before. There's some red RTV on it. It's not the right color. Pretty sure it's not the right color. Oh yeah, look at that. So the gasket that's coming off, and look at how chunked up that is. Like, that's like sludge. Now look at this. Oh, that's nasty. Into the drain pan it goes. Now we try and loosen up. I swear you're about to tell me the dipstick's in the way? Really? Now we're gonna take the distributor out. There's a little nub that holds it in. I've never done this before. Pretty sure the key is just to grip and twist. I mean, so there's definitely a little bit of wear on the hex shaft, but it doesn't look that bad. Definitely needs to be clean though, but there is the distributor. And then just so I don't lose where hardware goes, on things like this where it's outside, it's not gonna be in the way. I'm just gonna put the bolts back where they go because it's easier that way. Okay, all right, so now let's pull this as close to me as I can. Prop that up and out of the way. Holy sh! Like, I'm twisting my gloves around that. That's okay, we have a solution for it. Is anything gonna come out of this? I sure believe so. Okay, not very much came out. Yeah, pretty dry. Pretty sure I drained the oil in this. I might have to double check, but that's definitely very sludgy oil. Who knows how long this thing sat for. There it is. Let's get this ground strap out of here because it's in my way. I don't know if this thing has coolant in it. I'm pretty sure I drained the oil, but I'm not positive. So, because I know I drained it on the 223, but I have no recollection of draining it from here. Big old freaking drain plug. Oh, if it's loose, I probably already drained it. Sounds empty. Yep, already drained. Just gonna loosely put that back on there. I'm not worried about pulling the dipstick right now. We'll pull this off after we pull this cover off. Now we're on the fun side of the motor. We're gonna get the fan off, then we're gonna start pulling the belts, the pulleys, generator, alternator. Not sure which it is because like I said, I'm not familiar with this motor all that much. This will be the first ever inline six I tear apart too. We're gonna get some
penetrating fluid.
So now with the one stud and the 3 nuts and washers removed, there's a spacer. I'm not working on these hoses anymore. Let's get these 2 hoses removed. We're getting rid of them. There's the first one. There's the second one. All right, now we'll take off the alternator or generator. I'm pretty sure this is an alternator though. Get this belt off of here. Nice. Screwdriver. And there is the alternator bracket. So yeah, this pulley has to come off. Let's put this in our box of parts. Maybe we got to get the Dominator out. A little bit of penetrating fluid, baby. Like, do the studs have to come out first? I don't know. I'm learning. We have summoned the Dominator. So it's definitely like this, this piece right here needs to separate first. Back to whacking it with a hammer. There we go. Yeah, so it's just rust welded on there. I don't know how aluminum rust welds, but it sure did. All right, Dominator, I guess it's your time to shine because that doesn't want to come off either. Nice. There's a pulley. Pretty good shape. Genuine Ford. Let's get the 1/2 inch. Let's get this water pump removed. All right, so it should be the 4 bolts. I don't think I missed any. All right, we're going brute force. And, hi-ya. Oh shit, we're moving the engine stand. I should probably lock the wheels. I will get Dominator on you. All right, we're doing it. Stuck water pump. It's probably rusted. There we go. See, look at how easy it is. Oh. Oh. That's no good. All right, so this crank pulley bolt is a 15/16. Came right off. It is a keyed crank. So let's see what happens. Can I just slip it off? Not a chance, huh? All right, I'll get the puller. Okay. Reinstalling the crank pulley bolt temporarily. I haven't used this thing in eons. Now we got the pulley puller on here, and all we're gonna do is tighten this down, and it should pop right loose. The pulley puller's off. And just take the hammer and boom, crank pulley / harmonic balancer, whatever you want to call it, is off. So now with the crank pulley off, we're gonna pull the front timing cover. Just looks to be like a bunch of 1/2 inch bolts and a couple of them are missing. No fear, the screwdriver is here. All right, what do we got? Boom. That's nasty. Like, that's some gunk. All right, we're gonna start by removing the 2 1/2 inch bolts off of the carburetor. Did I just say bolts? Sorry, I meant the 2 1/2 inch nuts. So there's one. And there's the second nut. Let's get this carburetor. Huh, that's actually hilarious. The fact that we got this thing to run at all is crazy. Might be a, I want to get a picture of this. This is probably just a rag that somebody stuffed in so that way stuff didn't get into the motor while it was sitting. Excuse me, goodness. So, we are lucky that we could even get this thing to run a little bit. And we are also extremely lucky that it did not get sucked into the motor. But we're going to throw this away. We're going to continue pulling the intake and exhaust manifolds off. So, there's a plate, gasket, and probably exhaust gas, something or other. I don't know entirely. Oh, and that gasket just crumbled. I mean, I don't really care about taking off this gasket. It could have stayed. Where did I set down? the two carburetor nuts. Right there. Sweet. I'm just trying to keep everything of likeness together, so it's easier to put back together. So now what we're gonna do is we have another vacuum line we gotta take off, which and bada bing. Let's get some penetrating fluid onto all of the manifold bolts. We're going to take off this cover. And then let's tilt the motor so that way it's not so heavy on the sole when it comes to removing this, because this is an extremely heavy part. Holy goodness, this one is really... So that one came with the stud. Okay. Let's get these two zipped out real quick. And then we'll grab the power ratchet and zip out the rest of them. I know, I don't think that there should be, yep, nothing else holding this in. All right. And let's get it up and off, son of a biscuit. Okay, yep, we got the intake manifold. The gasket was still on here, but we're gonna try and just inch this off. And then we're gonna just throw it away. Eventually, I'll clamp the garage floor once we're ready to do that. So before we start taking apart the valve cover and the valve train, I want to get these spark plugs out. So I was able to crack them loose after I cut the camera last night, just because I wanted to see if they'd move or not. Spray a little bit more penetrating fluid on this, because I know they need them. Maybe not the end ones, but I know for sure 3 and 4 need them, or need it. So this is 6. Definitely some junk on 5. Other than the rust, they're not that bad. Okay, this definitely feels a lot better than it did last night when I cracked it loose. So that's 4. 4 is definitely a little bit more rough on the cylinder side. Definitely looks like it was a little rusty in there, which we'll see more of that, more of the cylinder once we take the cylinder head off. Same thing with this one. Like you can see, like I can't just swing it. A little bit of rust, a little bit of carbon. We're having a theory that somebody had gone through this motor, ran it for a little bit, and then they just let it sit. Just a little bit of carbon on number 2. And if I have the clip still, of trying to get the 78 to run. And when I tried to pull the spark plugs, I'll play that. But yeah, just carbon on 1. All right, so now that that's off, let's get to zipping out the valve cover bolts, which they appear to be 1/2 inch. We're just gonna crack them all loose by hand first, which that one's already loose. Just because if something doesn't feel right, I don't want to break it. I think I was saying that last night. And then once we get the rest of these loosened, we'll zip them out with the power ratchet, save ourselves a little bit of time. Are we gonna be able to pop this off by hand? Sure are. Oh, that's nasty. I don't know how well it's gonna pick up on the camera. You can see that somebody tried to scrape this out before. Before we start zipping off rockers, let's get the lifter plate off of the motor, which those should also be 1/2 inch. All right, so 6 lifter plate bolts. Oh yeah, even more junk. Ooh, those don't look too good. There's definitely some rust. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at those lifters. We're gonna have to soak some of this in some more penetrating fluid. And it's like that over here on the, I don't know which one is which, like which push rod is intake and then exhaust, but I know it goes either intake, exhaust, or exhaust, intake. Granted, I could just look up here and then the other side. I'm too tired for that. So let's start loosening up some of these rockers. Smells like old oil. All right, it's the head bolts. Those are some short head bolts. Oh, that's a smell right there. For those of you who have taken out head bolts with some old motor oil in them, whew, that's a smell for you. Dominator, you've been summoned. All right, we're definitely loose on that side. Definitely loose there. All right, how heavy is this gonna be? It's cast iron, 6 cylinders. It's gonna be heavy. Yeah, flipping flaps, holy shit. Looks pretty good. Get it out of here. Definitely a good bit of carbon buildup. Little bit of rust in that one. which that would be cylinder 4. 3's got a little rust as well, which would explain why the spark plugs didn't want to come out so easily. But otherwise, it doesn't look that bad at all. Coming over here to the pistons, definitely see some rust in the block, which is what it is. But it doesn't, there appears to be like some scratching on the heads of the pistons. We're gonna have to do the scientific test. If you know who Eric is, Mr. I Do Cars on YouTube, he has a very scientific test for testing if there is a bad bearing. The hammer test. Checks out, checks out, checks out, checks out. A little bit of skirt wear. All right then. I'm watching each cylinder as it goes up and down. Everything seems to run fluidly. So we're just putting this to TDC on cylinder 1. All right, now we've marked all the pistons. And then we marked the timing gears. I gotta get this sensor out of here. Let's get this out of here. And we're gonna get the lifters out. They spin, which is a good sign. But I'd like to know why only cylinder 6 and 1 have rust on them, because this is all one cavity. Like, why would only 2 of the cylinders worth of lifters have rust on them? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Whoa, we're not dropping you now. So far the lifters are all looking good. I haven't really been paying attention though to the face that's on the cam, but I am keeping them in order. I'm just putting them with their corresponding rocker. Definitely a lot of junk in this motor. Maybe one day we'll get a built 300. All right, so there's all the lifters. Surprisingly, none of them fought me. I thought the 2 for 1 and then the 2 for 6 were gonna fight me, but they didn't. Just gonna pull the dipstick out, set that here on the table. So behind here, okay. The last one. Sweet. So there's the camshaft off. Moving forward, let's go ahead and get this mamma jamma turned over. Now we have a ton of 1/2-inch bolts. I'm grabbing a baggie in advance. I'm sorry, did I say 1/2-inch bolts? I meant 1/2-inch headed bolts. Typically, if I'm talking about a bolt size, it's the size that it takes to remove it or install it. Just let me know. So you can see clean and dirty. Look at this sludge. This is the reason I got the trash can. Like That is nasty. Ugh. But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the pickup tube and the pump, which is just 2 1/2-inch bolts that hold the pump to the block. Oil pump bolts. And then we'll be able to pull off the pump, and then we're gonna put it into the pan. Oh, are you... I should have seen that coming. Because the top of the pickup tube is in the same thing that the as the pan. I'm actually gonna put the bolts in the oil drain pan. So now we're gonna start cracking the rod nuts loose. Okay. I'm not doing that with a 3/8 drive. I need a little bit of leverage. So now that we've got the beans, let's start taking out the rod nuts. We're just doing quarter turns. All right, bearing's in there. Bearing does look and feel a little rough. I'll put the cap down here. Throw the rod cap and the 2 nuts on here. This gives me a better surface to push down on it. First piston is almost out. Pain with a crank in the way. All right. That's what I get for not eating my Wheaties this morning. There's a lot of sludge in this motor. Did I not crack this one loose? Oh, I did not crack cylinder 1 loose. Oh wait, I just didn't do the bottom one, but I did the top one though. How do I manage that? Welcome back to day 4. We're gonna crack these loose about an 1/8 turn at a time. We're just gonna keep doing this until they are loose like that. Because we should just be able to take them out with our hands. I'm assuming we're gonna get the smell of old oil again. I'm not using power tools in case something does hang up. I feel it, and it doesn't just power right through it. Because as much as I want to use an impact right now and just get them all out, not gonna do it. This is going to the machine shop tomorrow. See, like this one, it's a little tight there on the turning, but you wouldn't feel that with an impact. Let me guess, same thing? Same thing.
Yeah. That one, and that one.
We still have to get number 5 out. There it is. Without further ado, I think we just grab from 2 and 5, and we get this on over to the table. Wow, yep, that's got weight to it. I don't know how well that's gonna be seen, but it's like that on every one. But this is the one I was talking about. It's the thrust bearing, and then you can kind of see it there, and there, and there, and there, right? Have some pretty nasty grooves. I can feel that big one. You can see right there. That goes all the way from that side of the bearing notch to the other side. I can feel that. And it's like that, but it's like that on every one. Like without fail, same exact spot, right from the notch to the other side. So I don't know. Was it supposed to be like that? I'm sure my dad will tell me that it was not. And then, by the way, we're working in reverse order. That's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 being the one closest to the timing gears. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like material transfer. That one doesn't have the groove. Like, it doesn't have that one distinct groove down the middle of it, which is why I don't think it was supposed to be that way, right? Shit. But, yeah, no. It's definitely a good idea to take this out. I mean, the crank, like, it's grooved. Like, I can feel that with my fingernail. I don't know how well that's picking up on the camera. But yeah, no, that's a really bad groove there. Can't feel that with the fingernail. That one's smooth. That one's got a little bit. Can't feel that one. That one's got a little bit as well. You can see it if I angle the camera right. And same thing with that one. But mind you, this is one right here. We just looked at one, like this one. I mean, yeah, it's bad, but it's not that bad. So now, looking at all the cylinders, you can definitely see some vertical wear marks. You see a little bit of cross hatching on it, but not much. But it's a good thing. It's going to the machine shop tomorrow. And then I did want to show you guys the pitting, though, that was on this. So if you look carefully, cylinder 1 has a lot of pitting. You can kind of see it. Try and zoom in for you. But oh yeah, right there you can really see it. And it's like that along a lot of the cylinder. And then it's really bad right there. But all of them have this little groove. You can see the difference in the color. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the teardown of the Ford 300 inline 6. So it's going to be a couple months, maybe 3 at most, till we get the block and crank back. But that's no big deal. I'm just super busy now with work, so I don't have the whole week to just do whatever. I actually haven't turned on my computer in a month, so yeah, it's been great. At some point, probably when we get the block back, then we'll do the cylinder head, the pistons, the camshaft, lifters, things of that nature. So the one thing I don't know is, obviously I have to do this on the weekends because it's like first thing in the morning, is sandblasting. So as you know, I have that big old 4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot Trinco sandblaster. I don't have a great way of recording what to do. So I have the clear protective case for the camera, but then we run into the issue of audio. So I don't know how exactly we want to go about that. Like whether you guys just want to see like me put the parts in while they're still like whatever they are, rusty, still kind of painted and rusty, corroded, whatever. And then just do like a split cut to from when I close the door and then open the door and pull out the clean looking parts. That's what I'm thinking. But you guys let me know about that. But yeah, hopefully here soon I can get my Z back up and running because I just spent the money at Z1. Got all the parts that I need, hopefully. I look forward to getting everybody's responses on Sunday when this uploads in 2 days. So I'm recording this Friday right after I get home, right after I got home from work. So thank you guys so much for watching and stay tuned because we're going to get busy.